All right, I think we are recording. So thank you everybody for joining us. We are here with our third edition of the Heartland Success Series webinars. And today we have the fabulous Sue Miller with us. She is not only one of our own brokers here in McHenry County, but she's also the president-elect of the Illinois Realtors. So we're glad to have you with us. I'm gonna go with the short biography today. So that's it. I'm gonna toss it to Sue and you're gonna take it away. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Jim. First of all, thanks for having me. Jim and I obviously spent some time traveling the state of Illinois, and one of the things that Jim had asked me to do today was just kind of give a recap on the conversations that I've been having, not only as one of your homegirls here from Heartland, but conversations that I'm having throughout the state during this health crisis that we're facing and how it's affecting other real estate practitioners. So I've kind of put my thoughts together, and some of these are going to be repeats of other conversations you're having. But I think it's always good as professionals that we kind of pull our thoughts together and just understand that we're not in this alone together. So I'm going to pull my PowerPoint up, and again, we'll kind of take it as it comes. So let me, hold on. I'm going to share my screen, grab my PowerPoint, pull it up. Here we go. So conversations I'm having, let me take it from there. So first of all, we all need to remember to breathe. We're in this together. We're going to come out of it together. Hopefully we don't lose anybody along the way. We can all sense each other's vulnerability, and we're all being real right now. Nobody's hiding. Nobody's better than one another. We're all true to ourselves. We can help each other if asked. We can ask each other for help. We should be able to offer each other help without being asked. And we must remember that we are in this together. I have to say, I've never been more proud to be a realtor than I am right now. Because as I interact with each and every one of us, every realtor I connect with says, what can I do for you today? Or how can I help you? And Rob, I know you're on the line. I got to give you a big kudos. I watched Rocky Palmer last night on Facebook, and he was as organically authentic as I've ever seen him, just reaching out to his public and saying, if you need me, call me. And kudos to you. That's great leadership in action. Thank you for giving him that belief in himself. And we have all stepped up to that point. So we're all in this together. We're going to make it through, but offer yourself and do what you can. Take care of yourself first. Create a routine. We are all out of our normal. Get up every day. Set an alarm. Don't sleep in. Don't do something you normally wouldn't do. Create a routine. Get your rest. 8 hours a day is what the professionals are suggesting. Your immune system is being taxed by not being in your normal. Get your rest, take a nap. Eat healthy, 3 meals a day. It's easy when you're working from home to snack all day to get out of your normal. God knows there are snacks. You look on Facebook, people are baking, they're making cookies, they are eating cake. They're making the snack runs. Get back to eating good food. Build in some exercise. Make sure it's great cardio exercise. We're getting into the weather where we can get outside, get on a bike, take a walk, take your dog out. Work your normal hours. If I'm hearing it more than not, people are working longer and harder because your computer is right there. It's right in your front of your face. So you're walking by it and you're going to check your email one more time. You're going to check your Facebook one more time. You're going to check your .loop one more time because it's right there. It's not in the basement or it's not at the office. It's right there. So set a work schedule, set an alarm, set a reminder. 5 o'clock you're done, at 6 o'clock you're done, at 7 o'clock you're done. Create social interaction, whether that's through Zoom, whether that's sitting on your front porch, whether that's, doing something social safely. Make sure you do have some social interaction in your life. Don't isolate yourself more than you already are. And more importantly, learn something new every day. What's on your bucket list that you can now create time for? I have a friend who's learning how to do an acoustical guitar. I have someone who's learning about gardening. Jim just learned yesterday he forgot to put a frame in his beehive, and he had to go scrape some kind of weird comb off to put a new frame in. Learn something new every day. We have time now to create a new normal for ourselves. But take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of anyone else around you. So, what are the conversations that I'm actually having? The first one's about change. What's been working? What isn't working? What's worth keeping? And what needs modification? Lots of people have made changes to their environment, their habits, their stuff, their technology, their staff, the people that are helping them. I will give you my example. I thought I had a home office. I didn't have a home office. I had a desk in the basement, in the dark, in a corner. The first week I went home to work, I was miserable. I didn't want to work in my basement, in the corner, in the dark. It's my grandpa's desk. I loved it. It was not where I wanted to work. So I immediately moved myself up into my dining room. With that, I had to move my modem up. I had to move my computer up. I had to move my stuff up. I had to move a chair up. I had to move my things up. So my dining room is no longer my dining room. It is now my home office. That created change. That created stress. That created a new environment for me. It's not comfy. It's not cozy. It's not my dining room anymore. It's my workspace. Has that changed other things in my world? Absolutely. If I was Zooming from home, you'd see my china cabinet behind me. If Governor Pritzker extends our stay at home, which he's going to probably do, the next purchase I'm going to make is probably a green screen. Because when I'm Zooming from home, I feel a little less professional about my backdrop. And if I'm going to continue to do that, I'm probably going to change that. So what's working for me? I have a bigger space to work on. I'm not in the dark. I'm not being a mushroom in my basement. What doesn't work? I still have a china cabinet behind me. Is that change worth keeping? Absolutely. What needs modification? I need to up the professionalism. Technology has been a huge change for most people in their home environment. People are telling me that they've had to up their broadband at home. They've had to increase their Wi-Fi. They've had to make significant changes to the technology and their utilization of technology. Who knew how many Zoom meetings that we'd be using today? We never use this technology in our home offices. So evaluate all the changes that you've been making. This is going to become our new normal as I continue on my conversations. What are you willing to keep? What are you willing to invest in? What needs modification? And what are you willing to embrace moving forward? So what else am I talking about with all my people out there? What are the most common conversations that I'm having? The first thing that always comes up is time management. What happened to office hours? They're non-existent today. People know you're working from home. People know you're working from alternative locations. So they're saying, when are you available? My phone's ringing at 7 in the morning because people know I'm an early bird. I'm on the clock typically till 7 or 8 at night. Generally, when people thought of my office hours, they knew that I showed up about 9. They knew that I left about 5. Today, people are expecting me to be available from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. So people are asking, how early can we meet? How early are you available? How late can you stay? Time management is critical. Today, most people that I'm talking with are telling me that they are being asked to be available 12 to 14 hours a day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's too many hours. That's exhausting. You cannot fit in good, healthy lifestyle if you're working 12 to 14 hours a day. So start to balance your life. Bring your office hours back into management style. You should be managing your office hours between 8 to 10 hours a day. And that may be cutting some things out. Meetings are becoming unmanageable. When we used to travel to a meeting, meetings were literally booked in 1 hour sessions. When was the last time you had a 1 hour Zoom meeting? They're booked in 1 hours. They typically used to be 40 minutes. Every Zoom meeting I have right now is running over, and it's a, oops, it ran over. Oh, we've gone a little over, because we're no longer driving to that meeting. You're sitting in a chair. Oh, it's gone over. Be very conscious of 60 minutes. When we teach CE, we teach in 50-minute hours. The human mind can only absorb information for 50 minutes at a crack. After 50 minutes, you've absorbed all you can absorb. You now have to make time to integrate that new information, absorb it, and bring it into what you already know. A meeting over 50 minutes, everything else is wasted energy. So make sure your meetings can be handled in 50 minutes or less. Everything over that is really ancillary and overkill. Conversations. One of the conversations that I'm having is the deep dive conversations that are taking place each and every day. Prior to this moment in our lives, people didn't have time for conversation. It was a 30-second, hey, how are you? Good to have this conversation. Next. Now people are willing to take the time to do a deep dive. They want to know how you are. They welcome that moment. They want to spend time on the phone. They want to have the ability to know how you're doing. So take advantage of it. Reach back to people that know you, love you, and want to communicate with you. I spend an hour a day, as do most of the people that I'm networking with, just reaching back to people that they haven't talked with in years and reconnecting. So conversations are becoming very important again. And all of these time management conversations are ending with availability. How much time are you making yourself available? Because you still have to have recovery time during the course of the day. You can't start your day on batteries that aren't recharged fully. So if you don't give yourself recharge time, you're not going to be able to get through the day. So time management is probably the #1 conversation I'm having throughout all of my networking, that people are struggling with managing all they have to get done during the course of a day with the many hats that they wear. And the biggies are office hours. What are you open during essential business? How long these meetings are taken, because now we're not traveling to get to and from, that they're adding deep dive conversations, and availability is being usurped by people who want to have constant conversation or constant touches. The second big deal that I'm constantly having conversation about is agent engagement. And really, these are the 4 biggies that keep coming up in that process. Roll call, which agents are showing up and which ones aren't. For the first couple of weeks of this quarantine, most of your agents were still engaged. They still had things in the pipeline. They still had things to do. They still wanted to be active. They were still working on their business. And then maybe they didn't. They were working on their database. They were working on the things that they still had something to do. But now we're 35 days in, and maybe they're running out of things to do. So roll call is important. Make sure that you're touching base with your agents and knowing that they have value, they have worth, They have things to continue to work on so that when we do have the ability to get back to work actively, that they have things to do. Connectivity, staying connected with your agents. If they're not coming into the office, find a way to stay connected, whether that's a hangout, whether that's a Zoom, whether that's one-on-one calls, reaching out and touching them, making sure that connectivity is still there. Many managing brokers are finding it difficult to fit that into the day-to-day activity. I say that's the most important thing you can do, is stay connected to your agents. They're your bread and butter right now. You need to put them top of your list and some of the other things at the bottom of your list. Accountability. What are they doing? How are they doing it? And how can you help them do it better? Which leads me right to systems and tools. Right now, when we're working with buyers and sellers, you need to know your systems and tools, and you need to be training on systems and tools. This is a perfect opportunity to revisit the things that you have in the system, reevaluate them, and make sure that they are the best of the best, and retool them. Pause on them, pivot on them, make sure that they're the best of the best, so that when your agents do get the opportunity to re-engage, they are up to speed on each and every one of your tools in the toolbox, because that's what's going to make them the best. Often an agent will say, I don't have time to learn a new tool, or I don't have time to learn a new system. Well, right now is the perfect time to say there's not a better time to learn a new system or a new tool, because it's already in your toolbox. Defining business is probably one of the conversations that I've had most often. And that's, of course, the two-part. Is it essential or non-essential? And I've probably had this conversation with Jim Heisler more often than not, because my friend Jim continues to tell his friend Sue, I've been working with clients too much. Essential, you have to do it. There's no way out. It must be done now. And non-essential is business that certainly could wait until we are all not at risk. And that really is how I'm defining it with the conversations I'm having. Is it worth the risk versus reward? And again, make sure you can evaluate it now. Can it wait till it's safe? And I'm actually putting that onus on the client that I'm talking to. Can it wait until it's safe? And making them make that decision. So defining business as essential or non-essential. And when you turn it to them, they often will make that decision on their own. Can it wait till it's safe? And I start to talk immediately about the personal protection equipment that's essential, and are they willing to wear personal protection equipment when we're out in the world doing real estate? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm going to give you booties. I'm going to give you a mask. I'm going to give you gloves. You're not going to touch anything. And are you comfortable wearing all that? And if they giggle, they laugh, they say no, then I'm like, we're not going, because that's what's required in today's world. So moving out of that business, if someone decides that business is essential, you need to be up to speed on presentations. And presentations, of course, in today's world are really an online or virtual world. And getting people up to speed is really a lot of what management conversations are on right now. Teaching people how to do Google Hangouts, teaching them how to use this environment, Zoom. If there are Apple products, learning how to use FaceTime, learning how to use WebEx, GoToMeetings. There's a whole variety of presentation styles, how to get documents in and out of the different presentations, and to get comfortable with using those different documents, how to create digital documents, how to use electronic signature document platforms. You'd be surprised at how many agents still aren't comfortable in using digital presentations. So now's the perfect time to say it's now or never, in order to start using presentations that you're not comfortable with, and making sure that you are comfortable or get comfortable with them. Beyond presentations, of course, the first thing that you have to talk about is dressing for success. and making sure that you don't jump into a presentation without knowing someone's literally looking at you. They're looking at how you look, they're looking at your backdrop, they're looking at what's behind you, what you're wearing, how you present, if you're comfortable, if you're not comfortable. So starting really from the very beginning, it's not just running the mouse, it's not just looking at the camera, it's how is the big picture and how do you look. A couple of these that I point out to my people, you know, what's the other person doing? What's the other person expecting? Are they expecting to be able to interact with you? Are they expecting to be able to see around you? What device do they have? What device do they not have? You know, what technology do they have? And more importantly, what broadband, what technology do they have? I was just sharing with Jim earlier today, yesterday, I was trying to do some video work with Illinois Realtors, and I was trying to do it from my home, and I was having a horrible time. I live at the end of the subdivision. I live at the end of the line for my internet, and I couldn't get a video to launch. So, you know, I came to the office, I got it done in, you know, a half an hour, and it was frustrating. So having that conversation about presentations with people and the other end of the line is often, again, one of those things we overlook, but it's part of what we need to do. One of the other conversations I'm having is, of course, those showing conversations. If you're forced to do an essential showing, again, I always have the conversation, do you want to do a virtual showing or do we want to do a physical showing? I will always try to offer that virtual showing first, meaning that myself or an agent goes to that property, we leave our client out of harm's way, and we do a virtual showing. Two of the most easiest methods is using apps Duo or WhatsApp. Both of those are free. You're literally using your phone. I'm using, or my agent is using, you know, personal protection equipment. I'm walking through with the phone, Duo or WhatsApp. My client is in their home. They have it on. We're doing the virtual walkthrough, and they're asking questions as we're going. What's that? How's that door frame? How tall is the ceiling, etc. And then, of course, if you're doing an essential showing and it's physical, you are doing the personal protection equipment. You're offering that to your client. You're making sure that, you know, no one is put in harm's way, and you're only doing that as a last cause, making sure that you have exhausted all virtual opportunities. You're looking at all photos. And then, of course, I can't stress it enough, showings, if they're non-essential, should not be occurring. Marketing is a whole new world, ladies and gentlemen. The conversations that I'm having are amazing. Marketing in this environment, under, you know, this extreme COVID-19 moment, what is the message? Limit your opinion at this time. People's emotions are running so high right now. Everybody is emotionally charged. They are being inundated by messages that are just hitting home. And at this point, as Illinois is seeing our numbers soar with people who are ill or know someone who is ill, we don't know where they are emotionally attached to this health crisis. So be very cautious with your messages. We don't know how people are going to react to any message that we put out there. Be careful with your imaging. Make sure you are citing sources that are reliable. Make sure that you're using images that, again, are neutral in nature. If you have a call to action in your marketing pieces, make sure that the timing is, again, appropriate if that is a call to action that you have. And most importantly, where are you in that image, in that marketing? Make sure that you are in the right place, using caution and being one of hope and one of care, not necessarily pushing forth the sale issue. because marketing right now, again, is all about the emotional buy-in and respectfully hopeful of coming out of this the other end being the real estate professional. I spend probably half my conversations talking about the new normal words, and I'm sure you've all heard these. Pause. Let's put everything on pause. What does pause mean? Are we putting things on hold? Are we ever coming back to that stuff or not? What are we pausing? Does that mean forever? Does that mean for now? I don't know what pause means. I just got off of a REBI Zoom, and we're coming out with some new material, and pause is almost in every title. So I think pause is going to be our new word. Pivot is a new word, a new normal word for us. So wherever there's a pause, there's going to be a pivot. So, you know, in basketball, that means you put one foot down and you turn the other way. So pivot is our new word for change. And is it changing course? Is it changing direction? So if we have a pause, then we're going to pivot. Are we going to just go left instead of right? Are we going to go a different direction? I'm not sure what pause and pivot are going to give us coming into the new world. And then of course, reset. We're all going to hit a new reset when this is over, and the new normal reset is back to normal or back to new, or we're not sure. So those new normal words are all going to redefine who we are when we start over. And I have to really bring that word virtual to this list, because when we as a real estate community talk about virtual, we aren't talking to our real estate community every day when we use that word. And I always say in a classroom, we have created a vocabulary to our own community that is foreign to the consumers that we serve. And when we use the word virtual to our consumers, they have no understanding what we're talking about. So we need to be careful when we use the word virtual. And I think we need to further define it to our consumers and our clients, because I'm sure, based on conversations I'm having, that they aren't clear when we talk about virtual, that they're not on the same page. So let's continue to define that word in our conversations so we all have a clarity on where we're going. One of the words that we're talking about in conversations I'm having is occupancy. Occupancy to managers and to people on our side of the industry is, wow, we have nobody in our offices right now. Can we scale back? Can we live with less is more? When we're outside of our offices and we're talking about occupancy, it's about, are there people in the houses and can we show them because they're vacant? Or if it's rental property, can we show them because there are no tenants in them? So again, it's a word that has multiple meanings and we need to be careful. And of course, the word downsize, and multiple meanings, but again, a word that is being thrown around in our new normal words that we need to be very aware of and to continue to have conversations about. So needless to say, as I've been fortunate enough to represent Heartland for many years and now represent Illinois Realtors, having these conversations throughout the state, they are an ongoing day-to-day thing that goes on in my world that allows me to bring the message back to you that we're not alone out there. And I will remind you, as my last slide says here, that we need to continue to breathe. We are all in this together, and together we will win as Realtors, more importantly as Heartland Realtors, and as the best of the best. So with that said, those are the conversations I'm having, And I'm going to stop my screen share and answer any questions that might come up in the chat. So Jim, let me go ahead and stop my share, and I will come to the chat to see if we've got anything chattable down there.
No questions yet. I've been watching.
Okay.
I've posted a couple things of information for people, but no questions yet. I just asked for them. We'll see what they come up.
Let's see what we got. Anything in the chat? Rob, are you still on?
He's still there. Brian says, thank you. Nice presentation. Do you want Rob? I can allow him to talk. Rob's on.
Rob.
Did you want Rob to talk?
I do want Rob to talk.
Rob, do you want to unmute?
And video. Can Rob video?
No.
No.
Rob, I will unmute you. I assume he's there. I don't know. Can't tell if he stepped away, if he's...
Lisa is asking, what's an additional place to take classes that are affordable? So Lisa, getting designations and certificates. Lisa, right now, NAR is offering a couple classes online through Right Tools right now that are free. Two designations they're offering are their ePro designation and their PSA, their Pricing Strategies Advisor. Both of those are currently no charge, and they are incredibly awesome certifications. ePro is the Electronic Professional, which teaches you all about technology. PSA, Pricing Strategies Advisor, really teaches you how to do a CMA, a BPO, and really just drills down on how to make adjustments and strategize on how to come up with pricing. So those are two that I would really recommend that are cost effective, because they're typically expensive designations to get. From there, I would really send you back out to like an REBI, where you could pick up your SRS designation, and that could be an online or through a web presentation through many of our local instructors. Illinois Realtors has a whole stable of things that are available through an online opportunity. So if you go to Illinois Realtors through the education tab, you can pick up some things there. So there are a lot of opportunities that are going on right now at either a discount price or free, because we know everybody is home. Keep in mind that Illinois has extended the renewal date for your broker's license through September 30th. That doesn't mean you should stall on your renewal and getting your CE done. It's important that you stay on track for that, because again, all of the renewals that were due have been extended, which means that we and everybody else that has a license out there are going to be in that cycle all summer long. And of course, the state is going to have everybody there. Jim, of course, just posted Commitment to Excellence. NAR's program is still free. That is a self-paced, task-related Commitment to Excellence, where you would receive that endorsement. And that is an ongoing endorsement where you continue to work on that. So lots of information out there to continue to challenge yourself and get better at what you do. Anything else? Any other questions for me? Anything else?
I'll just jump in and add that next week we've got Kathleen Caldwell lined up. She's a local business consultant, so she's going to have some pretty awesome information for you. She's not real estate specific, so she might have some extra things to add on. And then we're working on the May 6th session. May 13th, I've got Justin Lethaby lined up to give 10 ways to keep in front of your clients, to keep your name in front of your clients. So that'll be May 13th. So those are the next coming up sessions that we've got lined up.
Oh, Jim just reminded me too, just a quick add-on, that Illinois Realtors has their Real Estate License Act web series currently available on the Illinois Realtors webpage. It is 6 short videos from our legal counsel, Betsy Urbance and Annalise Firstos. They are short. They run in range like 4 minutes to, I think the longest one is maybe 15 minutes. So you can binge watch them. I did them, I think, in an hour. They are certainly to the point. They will give you everything you need to know about the license law rewrite, as well as the upcoming rules. They hit the highlights, they hit the points. They are well worth watching. It's 6 small segments, and you can do them all at once or a little bit at a time. But certainly they'll give you the highlights of the bits and pieces, and well worth watching. So please check that out if you could. That is through IllinoisRealtors.org. Click on, I think, the legal. You will need to sign in for that. You click on your member account. I think it's under the legal tab, and you can catch it there. But certainly well worth watching. Nicely done.
And then Women's Council is hoping to have a Zoom cocktail party on May 7th. A Zoom, I'm calling them meetups. I'm not sure what they're calling a cocktail hour on May 7th. So they're working in that, and we'll have more information out as well. Sue, anything else?
No, I think that's good. And Jim, I just want to thank you again for putting on this Heartland Success Series. Again, I'm proud to be a Heartland member, and I'm proud of you. You are doing a great job in staying connected with your members and doing all that you can to keep us the best of the best. I am proud of you, proud of Heartland, and everybody have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, take care of yourself.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you.